Can you hear me?
Jason,
Hey,
how are you?
good.
Um,
Not hearing me twice, but yeah.
it's been how long now? It's been
Well, I saw you probably when I was on the way to Texas, so around August 2014.
2014. Is that when we met?
Yes, when I went
Okay.
to when I stopped by on the way to Texas.
Uh-huh.
So I'm pretty sure, yeah, 2014. Around August, I don't know if maybe it was before then, but yeah, I drove down the summer of 2014.
Okay, that was 3 years ago. And what were you doing down here in the South, or the Texas? You were going to.
I wanted to get certified, learn more about dog training
Hmm.
to do it professionally.
Right,
So I went to Starmark Academy
right.
in Hutto, Texas. So on
Mm-hmm.
the way there, I stopped by in Alabama to see you guys, my
Okay.
dog Karma, and see where she came from, and then also see all the great work you guys do, at Florence Shelter,
And that's
shows and
how
all that.
and that's how we met.
Yeah.
All right. And over the years, you've been through a lot of classes, school, training. I mean,
Oh yeah.
training for yourself in order to help others train their dogs. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
I basically never stopped. Even after Starmark, I go to as many workshops as I can. I just got back a few weeks ago from the International Association of Canine Professional Conference. I go now every year. This year is my third year going to that.
Uh-huh.
And that's just, tons of workshops, tons of connecting with other trainers that you learn from, even like the side conversations at night and over lunch, you're learning a ton. So I've continued my education after Starmark, through apprenticeships, through working with somebody else, through reading books, and just learning from others to then help others. And the biggest thing I learned from is other dogs. It's just working with dogs who learn something new every day.
So, from what I'm getting, well, when I met you, you had already uh, obtained so much knowledge. Uh, so what you're saying is you never stop learning as a
Never,
trainer.
never. I
Never.
mean, one of the best things of me going again to the IACP conference is you meet all these trainers. They've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years. And they say, never stop learning, keep learning. There's so much new information with training. Even going back to the things they did 30 years and seeing, okay, they did that. And you take parts from everything. And there's just, from
Hmm.
dogs. I mean, you even learn about dog training through watching horse training. Or when I went to Utah to work with Heather Beck, I got to work with a camel. And that helped me work with dogs and leash pressure and stuff like that. So there's just so many ways to learn about these animals and how to communicate with them. And then, like at the conference this year, I keep bringing it up because it's the most recent thing. A lot of it was focused on communicating with the owners, the humans,
Hmm.
and how to get through to them and help them understand. So, yeah, I still need to
So,
make it back to you guys.
so for those who don't know you yet, could you briefly introduce yourself and tell us where you're located and
Okay.
what you're doing now in New
Um,
York,
People
Brooklyn?
don't know. My name's Jason Cohen.
Okay.
I live in Brooklyn, New York, and my company is called Canine Cohen Dog Training and Behavior Modification. And a lot of what I do is behavior modification. We get a lot of dogs here, rescue dogs for the most part. I work with all dogs, all breeds, but I do work with a lot of rescue dogs that come from down south.
Uh-huh.
I even worked with one the other day that just came from the meat trade from Korea. But a lot of
Wow.
dogs from down south that come here with a lot of fear and just, oh my God, what the hell did you bring me to? Big city, noises, shaking ground from the subways, dogs everywhere, cats everywhere. So a lot of distractions and a lot of loving people that want to give the dog the best life. So I try to um, help them live better dogs with their lives, as we've spoken about before.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm just trying to find always new ways to do that.
And how long have you been in business? Are you a one-man business? Kind of
Right now, I'm a one-man business. Basically, my company's been around since 2014. So we're going on 2018. So, going on 3, 4 years professionally. Before that, it was more of a hobby and just helping friends and other dog people out while I was
mhm.
in my advertising career. Um, and basically, after getting my dog Karma and seeing all the rescue dogs and the dogs getting returned and people struggling and me being able to help them, decided to take the plunge and try to help others with what I can do.
Um, through the years,
Yes.
you've give us um a rough estimate of how many dogs that you've been able to help or change their lives in
Lose
uh,
track. I mean, it's been so many. It's hard to keep track. Thankfully.
hundreds.
Oh yeah, over hundreds. I'm actually going. I'm going through something right now. So I'm looking at my applications, right, where I can see how many training applications I have.
Uh-huh.
In that alone, it's showing me over 500. So probably, could be around that number, possibly.
Uh-huh.
With applications, sometimes is, multiple applications, but I would say probably close to 500 it could be.
Okay. Well, be
Yeah.
honest. Be honest with us. Out of the 500, let's just say, uh, do you feel that you helped the majority of them? 90%, 95? Or have you ever had any rough cases that you just couldn't handle?
Sure, sure. I mean, I have cases that either I couldn't handle or is above my experience, or ones I wasn't comfortable taking on with what I know, and I do send them to another colleague of mine or trainer.
Uh-huh.
I also have ones that it not necessarily was the dog or me, but the humans not wanting to do what needs to be done, or
Right.
they're not the right match for the dog. So it's a combination of everything, and it's not a blame thing or anything. It's just a lot of dog training and dog ownership is the right match.
Right.
Match could be energy levels, it could be commitment to training, lifestyle, many factors. Okay,
There
so
there are a lot of factors to dog
yeah, right.
training.
Dog
That's
ownership in general, there's a lot of factors too.
it's not just about the
So
dog, it's about the owner, it's about
mhm,
how yeah.
yes. So,
So
but I mean, I have a case right now that a dog I worked with, small dog,
mhm.
has a human and dog reactivity. I don't know if I want to call it aggression, but reactivity, and it's just living in a state of fear of a lot of situations. Luckily, he has a great parent, owner, whatever we want to call it. Previous trainer worked with it. I worked with it, and just felt it needed more. It needed a board and train, and my board and train is limited what I take in into
Mhm.
my home because I do them in my home. So I referred that dog out to a colleague of mine, and that colleague of mine's going to work in a board and train for about 6 weeks with this dog,
Mhm.
and then when they're done, I'll continue working with them at home. And I
Right.
do that with many cases that I might not have the facilities or time to devote to the dog.
Right.
And it's so, to me, what I've actually formed over the years in New York is a network
Right.
of other trainers, of like-minded trainers that we could, talk to, learn
Mhm.
from, and also share dogs and also help each other. I've had other trainers come to me to help with the dog as either triggers, distractions, and we
Mhm.
help each other out. So
So it's not all about competition.
there are trainers that feel that way. I'm not. I actually even fought for a Facebook group to get us together. So we just meet up for drinks or we meet up and train dogs. And yeah, there is competition. There is, different viewpoints on things. But
Uh-huh.
I try to keep, and I believe it's possible, a lot of trainers, we can get along, help each other with one common goal,
Mhm.
help humans and dogs live better lives together. And that's what most of the people I associate with are about.
And that must be your true motivation for doing what you're
It is.
doing.
It is.
Uh,
It is. It's I mean, New York is I really consider it one of the toughest places to have a dog.
right.
And when I go meet trainers from other parts of the country, they're just like, "How do you do it in New York?" There's Now everybody has a backyard. There's so many distractions while the dogs are on leash, and
Hmm.
lives are busy, and it's totally different having a dog here than in more open space areas.
Right. See,
So yeah.
where I'm calling from is from the south.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. I don't see many well, dog trainers. But Jason, let me ask you something. How important is it to have um, behavioral modifications with dogs, for dogs? Um,
Well, behavior modification usually a lot of times when I get the cases is there's a problem, so there's a behavior we need to modify.
right.
But you, even when you get a young dog, a puppy, um, you're not modifying behavior, but you're conditioning the behavior. You condition them to be okay with the crate. You condition them to be good with people and surfaces and sounds. Like I actually call it the game of sevens. I don't call it. It's called game of sevens. I've heard people call it the game of 12s. So even getting a puppy, you have to introduce it to the world correctly, teach it how to live in our crazy world, um, teach it the proper habits. So a lot
Mhm.
of times it's maybe not behavior modification, but conditioning, taking it through its life just like a child, teaching it how to live and do right things. So it is important to me as soon as you get a dog to work with a professional to
Mhm.
help guide you so you don't have problems later on.
Right. Some people just
Yeah.
give up. Some people just
Well,
abandon their dog.
yeah,
But it's
people wait till there's a problem,
right.
and they have to fix a problem. I just got a call from a friend recently that I used to work in advertising with,
Uh huh.
and he's at the wit's end with a dog. And it's been, I go, how long have you had the dog? And about 3 years. And he wants to get this thing fixed. I'm like, well, it's 3 years of bad habit. There's no magic wand that's going to fix that in 30 seconds.
Right.
It's a lot of times people don't realize it's a lifestyle change. It's a process, and there's no quick fixes. I mean, there are things that look like it,
Uh huh.
but in general, it's when you do this, I see all the stuff you do with your dogs. It's giving them what they need, teaching them how to behave, so you have a well-behaved dog all the time,
Hmm.
not just when you need it. And a lot of people wait. Well, I only want my dog to be good when this happens. Well, you got to practice that when that doesn't happen. So don't wait till there's a problem. Is what I like to say. Teach your dogs good habits from the beginning, and it'll grow from there.
Great advice. So,
Yeah.
Jason, tell us about what's this nomination thing. Brooklyn is a big city, but
Yep.
you are, I guess, one of the very few that was nominated for what now? Could you briefly explain that?
Yeah, I actually didn't know about it. I guess I saw another dog walking company advertise that they were nominated, and it's I guess a magazine that let's see what it's called. It's Dime magazine, something like that. That they put a Best of Brooklyn, and I don't know where they got the initial nominations from,
Uh huh.
but I saw a colleague, dog walking company that I use and I like and I recommend. They're called Brooklyn Bark,
Right.
and they said, "Hey, we're nominated. Oh, let me go vote for you." And then I checked and I saw that I was nominated too among other great trainers. And to me, that's an honor. However they want to use this nomination for the benefit of the company, I take that as I'm honored to be nominated amongst these trainers.
Uh huh.
So yeah, Brooklyn has a lot of trainers here and a lot of dogs, enough for everybody. So yeah, so now I didn't know about it until the last week, so I'm trying to get as many votes as I can.
So
Yeah,
when is the last time to can anybody vote for you or
all they say is anybody can vote up to once a day,
once a day?
till 30th tomorrow.
Okay, so where do people go to vote for you?
We'll put it. You'll have to give them a link. It's
Okay,
like
well,
it's bestofbk.com, but we can put a direct link if you want.
okay, well, you send me the link and I'll insert it into the 25-minute telephone interview.
Edit the interview.
I'm not sure if it's 25 minutes yet, but anyway, where if we were in Brooklyn, for the people in Brooklyn who are watching or listening to this uh, telephone interview, how do people find you? What's your website? What's your Facebook?
Caninecohen.com. The word,
K9.
yeah, the word canine, Cohen, Cohen. canine.com.
Okay. All right. Well, Jason, any last messages, advice for the community everywhere, our country, regarding dog training?
Dog training.
Yes.
Treat your dog well. Give it engagement, fulfillment in life. Walk your dog. Respect other people's dogs and advocate for your dog. Don't treat your dog like a human, but treat it well. Remember, they're a dog. They have different needs than we do. And enjoy lives with them. Their lives are not as long as ours. We don't have as much time for them, and they give us so much back. So enjoy the time with them.
All right. All right. Let's.
I don't know if that's good, but
that sounds good to me. All right.
okay.
Just in case we do have time left, I could edit this out. But
Yeah.
for the younger generations, for the new people with passion who are interested in training dogs and they want to go to school and they want to help out. I mean, what advice would you give to them?
Listen, if you're into dogs and want to train, first understand it's not all about dogs. You have to work with people. That's the biggest thing we always say. Now, there are careers that you're not involved with people as much, but you are working with people. You're teaching them how to live and train their dog. So first, obviously, get a dog, take your time, work with it. You can learn from online resources. I prefer hands-on in workshops. If you really want to get a great foundation, go to a hands-on school like where I went, Star Mark Academy. Michael Ellis has a great school in California. National Canine is another great school that's out there. So a lot of great schools. Listen, if you can't take off that much time to do it, then go to weekend workshops. There's plenty all over the country, workshops, and learn from everybody. And take your time. Don't rush it, especially if you're young. Go apprentice for somebody. Go shadow. Go help out at shelters, just handling dogs. But don't take on more than you can. Don't take that super aggressive dog and say, I can fix them. Just wait, learn to be with dogs. And if anybody wants to reach out, you can definitely hit me up, and I can try to send you some links and things like that. Another great way to get into dog training, join the IACP, or the International Association of Canine Professionals. It's a great organization that's an open-minded to all training styles and tools to help you grow. And there's no egos, no nothing, and we just all about helping young and new trainers grow and help dogs around the world.
Awesome. All right. That is a great way to end this telephone interview. Okay. So, once again, your name is?
Jason Cohen of Canine Cohen, dog training, behavior modification.
All right. And we got till the 30th of October to vote for you.
That sounds great, man.
Hey, we want you to, we were hoping for the best for you 3-4 years ago when we met you.
And you have. And I plan on, I'm trying to find now a little more time and make a trip out there and try to do some like classes with all the fosters and stuff. Like I said, I was. It's just been hard to get out there.
Well, how's business? How's business? Is it increasing? You're gaining a reputation and.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's thankfully word of mouth. The shelters and rescues I help, and it's crazy how quickly it's grown. But I'm busy.
Well,
a lot of dogs.
Thanks for staying committed and not giving up and doing what you love to do and following your passion. And you make a big difference. So thanks for your time, Jason. And hopefully.
Thanks for everything you do, Hero.
I'm just. It's all teamwork, right?
Exactly.
In animal rescue, there's all kinds of aspects and factors. So I'm just doing my little part, and you're doing your part, and we all work together. Network.
Exactly, man. Help each other to help dogs.
There you go. Well,
cool,
thank you, Jason, for your time, and take care and keep us up to date.
I will do. Have a great one, man.
All right. Good to hear from you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.